Have you downloaded the Goose Chase app yet to take part in the Kentucky FFA scavenger hunt? Well, it's not too late to join the fun. Simply download the Goose Chase app on your phone and search for Kentucky FFA. Start taking pictures of the items in the hunt and submitting them. The top scorers will win some great prizes.
The 91st Kentucky FFA State Convention is being brought to you virtually thanks to the generosity of these amazing sponsors. Now, here's a message from one of our presenting sponsors, the Kentucky Cattlemen's Association.
Kentucky is the largest cattle producing state east of the Mississippi River, and we at the Kentucky Cattlemen's Association work hard to provide a strong, proactive voice for all Kentucky beef farm families. KCA's partnership with the Kentucky FFA Association is a critical piece of our mission. We know that you are our future. So as you prepare to take your place in the industry, KCA will be there to provide you with unique experiences and opportunities. Kentucky's beef industry needs all your talents, your ideas, and most important, your contributions. We need you to help us feed Kentucky and the world.
Kentucky FFA is full of members with all kinds of talent. Sam Smith, a Montgomery County FFA member, has been getting lots of attention since he put his vocal talent to the test at the National FFA Convention in 2019. Sam has even written a song called Blue Jackets that celebrates the power of the FFA. As we prepare for the second convention session to begin, give a listen to Sam's music and take a look at some of our team's favorite moments from our travels this year.
Farmer, like his grandpa before him, working hard for his family, up early every morning, revving up his own John Deere, pouring out his own blood and tears. This future farmer's got it in his heart, and his FFA Blue Jacket's where it starts. He's got brothers and sisters all across this land, wearing them old blue jackets. This country's in their hands, and they're gonna work the earth, put the food on the table, and they're gonna lead the way as long as they're able. Don't worry, America, these blue jackets have you covered. Where that tall corn is growing, she helped her daddy plant it, and they didn't know when they might lose every sprout if it came along summer drought. She folds her hands and prays all season long with her blue jacket on. She's got brothers and sisters all across this land, wearing them old blue jackets. This country's in their hands, and they're gonna work the earth, put the food on the table, and they're gonna lead the way as long as they're able. Don't worry, America, these blue jackets have you covered. These gold letters on my back tell my story and my song, and these are my traditions that I'm gonna carry on. And I wear these colors proudly like I was raised to do, and I get someone to say, hey, I'm a blue jacket too. I'm a blue jacket too. I've got brothers and sisters all across this land, wearing them old blue jackets. This country's in their hands, and they're gonna work the earth, put the food on the table, and they're gonna lead the way as long miserable. Don't worry, America, these blue jackets have you covered.
The session will come to order. We are now holding the second session of the 91st Kentucky FFA State Convention. Madam Vice President, are all officers at their stations?
I shall call the roll of officers, determine if they are at their stations, and report back to you, Madam President. The Sentinel.
Station by the door.
Your duties there?
Through this door pass many friends of the FFA. It is my duty to see that the door is open to our friends at all times and that they are welcome. I care for the meeting room and paraphernalia. I strive to keep the room comfortable and assist the President in maintaining order.
The Reporter.
The reporter is stationed by the flag.
Why by the flag?
As the flag covers the United States of America, so I strive to inform the people in order that every man, woman, and child may know that the FFA is a national organization that reaches from the state of Alaska to the Virgin Islands and from the state of Maine to Hawaii.
The Treasurer.
Stationed at the emblem of Washington.
Your duties there?
I keep a record of receipts and disbursements just as Washington kept his farm accounts, carefully and accurately. I encourage thrift among the members and strive to build up our financial standing through savings and investments. George Washington was better able to serve his country because he was financially independent.
The Secretary.
Stationed by the ear of corn.
Your duties there?
I keep an accurate record of all meetings and correspond with other secretaries wherever corn is grown and FFA members meet.
The Advisor.
Here by the owl.
Why stationed by the owl?
The owl is a time-honored emblem of knowledge and wisdom. Being older than the rest of you, I'm asked to advise you from time to time as the need arises. I hope that my advice will always be based on true knowledge and ripened with wisdom. Madam Vice President, why do you keep the plow at your station?
The plow is the symbol of labor and tillage of the soil. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much. My duties require me to assist at all times in directing the work of our organization. I preside over meetings in the absence of our president, whose place is beneath the rising sun.
Why is the president so stationed?
The rising sun is the token of a new era in agriculture. If we will follow the leadership of our president, we shall be led out of the darkness of selfishness and into the glorious sunlight of brotherhood and cooperation. Madam President, all officers are at their stations.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. The Secretary will call the roll of members.
I am pleased to announce there are multiple members and guests present joining us online, Madam President.
Thank you. FFA members, why are we here? To practice brotherhood, honor agricultural opportunities and responsibilities, and develop those qualities of leadership which an FFA member should possess. May we accomplish our purposes. I now declare this second session of the 91st Kentucky FFA State Convention duly open for the transaction of business or attention to any matters which may properly be presented.
Welcome to the second session of our virtual state convention. Shannon and Sam started our journey into the new world last night, and we are excited to be your guides this evening. I'm Clay Newton, Lincoln Trail State Vice President.
And I'm Faith Payne, Green River State Vice President. The title of this session is Here and Now. When we use the phrase here and now, we are wanting to focus on the present and be aware of what is happening around us. You could also say this means to live in the moment. Our here and now started to look very different a few months ago as schoolwork went online, stores closed, and we started existing 6 feet apart. But one thing that still remained, we needed a way to be entertained.
Pandemic or not, one thing is for sure, popular culture will respond with new memes, fresh viral videos, and up-and-coming social media platforms, and tons of television shows to binge. Social distancing has moved some people to demonstrate their talents online for the rest of us to enjoy. And for that, we are thankful. Pop culture is one of the best ways to gauge what is happening here and now. You can hear it in music, see it in movies, and experience it online. As we navigate this session, we'll be benchmarking some of the pop culture trends that have been consuming our time lately. During this session, we are going to highlight lots of members who have lived in the present and competed in career and leadership development events.
We will also announce the results of the middle school competitive events and hear from our friends at the Governor's Office of Ag Policy.
Our teammates Pam and Ashlyn will present the State Officer Report, and State Vice President Amber Dotson will deliver her retiring address. Plus, we have ways for you to get involved. So keep an eye out for those opportunities during this session. One way to start down the road to social media fame is to have a strong #game.
That's right. We want to see how you're watching this session and engaging with the virtual convention. So take a picture or video and make sure to use the hashtag #KYFFAYouAreHere. It's important to know where we've been, we have to know where we are going, and we must take time to be present in the here and now. With lots of people working from home over the past few months, the virtual meeting has become part of the daily ritual. And there are tons of videos showing you some of the virtual meeting fails out there. And if you think you were having a bad day, just be glad that you weren't the person that flushed the toilet during the oral arguments of the United States Supreme Court.
Said is that when the subject matter of the call ranges to the topic, then the call is
Maybe one of the best new trends in online meetings is surprise celebrity appearances. Brad Paisley, Kim Kardashian, Conan O'Brien, and even the Jonas Brothers have been showing up occasionally when someone sends them the link to a Zoom call. Could you imagine if right in the middle of a budget report, some megastar pops in to say hey? Well, that's getting ready to happen here. Though, if I'm telling you about it, I guess it isn't much of a surprise. Mr. Warren Beeler serves as the Executive Director of the Governor's Office of Agricultural Policy. He is one of, if not the biggest names in Kentucky agriculture. His love for the food and fiber industry is obvious, and he is a huge supporter of youth programs like 4-H and FFA that engage young people in agriculture. We are very excited that he took the time to prepare a message to share with our members, advisors, and supporters this evening. Let's take a look.
Hi there, I'm Warren Beeler with the Governor's Office of Agricultural Policy. I bring greetings and congratulations to all of you and your chapters from Governor Andy Beshear and all of us at the Governor's Office of Ag Policy. We're living in a crazy time. We're all wearing masks. We're all trying to stay away from each other. This virus has shut down our schools and our businesses and changed the way we interact. It's been a big time change. The handshakes and the hugs and the visiting are now 6 foot away. And I think this pandemic has made us realize just how much we appreciated those handshakes and hugs as we go into it. I think agriculture is going to be permanently changed as a result of this deal. This virus and this crisis has really revealed our weaknesses and our areas that were fragile, particularly within the food chain and the processing area. At the same time, it's highlighted just how essential and how important agriculture is. When the grocery stores shelves are empty or the meat case is empty, there's a panic and a fear that like no other. And so we have maybe got some appreciation for agriculture as a result of the pandemic. This disease is a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call for us in agriculture to take a broad look, and fix where we're weak. And I tell you, it's going to change agriculture forever, I think. How will that happen? I think farmers are going to retain ownership and get beyond the trailer gate with that ownership. will we be selling cull cows in the future, or will we be selling hamburger and capturing that value? We're going to change the diversity of what we make out of our commodities. We're taking corn and making ethanol. When the price of gas got so cheap, then we took that same corn and we started making alcohol for hand sanitizer here in Kentucky. Same corn, different products at the end. I think we've got to get a control of our waste. What we throw away has value. And so creating value from what we waste is just another way to capture a little more and be much more efficient than what we are now. I think in the future we're gonna continue to replicate the best and basically increase the value of the rest. That's how we do it in agriculture. To do that, we need people. And we don't just need any people. We need forward-thinking people who can get in front of change rather than react to a crisis like what we've seen. We need FFA members that have a love and a passion for agriculture. People make things change. People are the difference makers in terms of how we adjust and how we adapt. What you ought to be proud of agriculture, this exciting, fun industry that just changes and adapts and adjusts every single day. I want you to be really proud of being part of the FFA. The FFA offers so many opportunities to learn. It's such an exciting deal, whether individual or team or a speaking contest or judging teams, parliamentary procedure, whatever it is, it gives you real opportunity and most of all, it gives you a passion for what we do in agriculture. FFA is amazing. FFA is amazing. And I owe so much of my success to FFA that I went through 40, almost 50 years ago now. I always want to thank the ag teachers and all you FFA members for what you do for agriculture. You're basically the next generation, and it is so terribly important. Congratulations to all of you. And special thanks to Matt and Brandon and Sheldon and the state officer team and all the individuals who were determined enough, folks, not to give up and cancel this convention, but to adjust and pull things together to have this very exciting virtual State FFA convention. In agriculture, we don't quit. We just adapt and continue. Again, thank you. And thanks for allowing me to be a part of this historic FFA convention.
Thank you, Mr. Beeler, for all that you do to support agriculture education and FFA. We are truly honored to have you as a friend. We look forward to seeing you in person very soon. Lately, everyone has found themselves with lots of time on their hands, and that has sparked virtual reunions and pop culture. The cast of the television show Parks and Rec came together to do a Zoom-like update show to raise money for charity. Peyton Manning, Tiger Woods, Tom Brady, and Phil Mickelson connected to discuss their golf games and how they are coping during this quarantine. Annually, there's a group of FFA celebrities that would have a reunion of their own during this state convention. Each year, we invite back the state officer teams that served 10, 25, and 50 years ago. Not only does this allow teams to reunite and catch up on life, it also shows our members how Kentucky FFA has been changing lives for decades. With the move to a virtual convention this year, we were not able to get all these past state officers physically together to reminisce on their time in the Blue Jacket. We thought about trying to do a virtual reunion on here, but decided against it because, old people and technology. But no worries, during the 2021 Kentucky FFA State Convention, we'll be inviting these three teams and next year's anniversary teams to Lexington for a huge celebration. We still want to take a moment to recognize the three anniversary teams this year. This is the 50th anniversary team that served from 1969 to 1970. This is also the team that attended the historic National FFA Convention when membership was officially opened up to females. That's a good segue to the 25th anniversary team, which served from 1994 to 1995. This was the first Kentucky FFA state officer team where the majority of the officers were female. If the 50th anniversary team was all male and the 25th anniversary team was majority female, it only makes sense that the 10th anniversary team was exactly 5 girls and 5 guys. But the biggest claim to fame for this team may be the fact that they rode into Rupp Arena on a tractor. Happy anniversary to these 3 teams and to any past state FFA officers watching. I want to say thank you on behalf of our officer team. We appreciate how you work to maintain the traditions of our association while also blazing new trails that have allowed FFA to remain relevant for over 90 years. It is truly an honor to wear the association jacket, knowing the giants that work before us. Speaking of giants, a big thank you also goes out to one of the sponsors that is making this virtual convention a reality, the Army ROTC.
When my week came to close at the Kentucky Leadership Training Center, I knew for a fact that I was serving on a team full of the most energetic, selfless, and genuine people I could ever meet. As we sang Lean on Me, I looked around at the enormous circle of people and smiled. I knew for a fact that we were going to be a family and that Amber and I were going to be close. Throughout the year, Amber and I have had our fair shares of coffee dates, karaoke sessions, and study dates. It didn't matter what was going on, she was always there to lend a helping hand and encourage everyone around her. Amber is one of the most authentic, loving, and compassionate individuals I know, and my year of service would not be the same without her. Kentucky FFA, it is my honor to introduce the 2019-2020 Kentucky FFA Vice President as she delivers her retiring address entitled Fearless Failure.
In the 3rd grade classroom of North Middletown Elementary School, I anxiously waited for Miss Childress to turn on the document camera. My pencil was sharpened, my hands were sweaty. My foot bounced up and down from nervousness, shaking the table and earning me a nasty stare from Austin, the boy sitting beside me. Was I going to be good enough, fast enough, correct enough? Only time would tell. Each of the 3rd graders were competing to be the quickest and most accurate in solving the times table for the number 7. I wanted to be the best so badly. I wanted the title. I wanted the recognition. Most of all, I wanted the reward, a trip to the library. The week before, I had lost the times table for 6s. That could not happen again. Miss Childress started the timer and the race was on. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42. I knew the answers, but my pencil just couldn't write them quick enough. 7 times 10, that's cake. I might actually win this thing. There was no sweeter sound than the swoosh of my paper flipping over and the clink of my pencil hitting the table as I took first place in the multiplication race. Everyone knew that I had mastered my 7s, won the race, and was headed to the library. That trip to the library was going to be different. In addition to the next Magic Treehouse book in the series, my mom was finally allowing me to check out one of the scary movies. I was going straight for the DVDs. I scoured the section for the perfect movie to watch over the weekend and landed on the least scary one I could find. Frogs. The cheesy 1972 horror movie was going to make that weekend amazing. Saturday night rolled around and I popped the movie into the DVD player in my room. Soon enough, 3rd grade dreams were going to come true. The plot was captivating. Florida swamp creatures have their revenge on the citizens polluting their home. The movie cut to a scene with a family having a nice picnic. Suddenly, frogs were everywhere, covering the tables, ruining the cake, and wreaking havoc on the family. I kept telling myself that the movie was just made up. The movie was meant to be scary. This would never happen in real life. But then, fear became reality. As I laid on my bed, I watched a frog hop from the inside of my closet into the middle of the floor in my room. Naturally, I was terrified. I jumped on my bed and screamed with everything I had for my mom to save me. I was being attacked by the very thing I had worked so hard to obtain. Some brief investigation revealed that the tree frog had made its way down the chimney and left sooty footprints along the living room walls and into my closet. It just so happened that the little guy hopped out in the peak of the scariest movie I had ever seen. My mom ushered the frog into a Walmart bag using a pair of my brand new shoes so that she could return him outside. I never wore those shoes, and to this day, my biggest fear is frogs. We are only born with two fears, the fear of falling and the fear of loud sounds. Every other fear is learned through experience. Some of us are afraid of heights, others tremble when the lights go out. Some are terrified of speaking to a crowd, and the real ones know that amphibians are a terror of the natural world. Most of these fears are external, meaning that we can't always control how we are affected. These are the things we write on get-to-know-me activities, and we probably don't encounter them every day. These are the traumatic experience-related fears that our nightmares are made of. The scariest fear of all, however, is not an external fear. It is a deep-seated fear that has been ingrained in all of our minds. It impacts us every day and in every decision we make. More than anything, we are afraid of failure. I don't claim to be immune to the fear of failure. Honestly, my fear of failure holds more weight than my fear of frogs. Time and time again, I've found myself steering away from opportunity, fearing even the smallest chance to fail. Even though I've lived with it my entire life, I still haven't completely overcome my own fear. Luckily, we can all use the fear of failure to facilitate personal growth. There are a number of tactics that you can incorporate in your life to get a grip on your fear of failure. To put it simply, the fear of failure originates in competition. We are biologically wired to compete with others in every aspect of our lives, and society facilitates the continuation of a world where winning is the top priority. If we don't win, there is only one other option: failure. In my family, we firmly believe that if you're not first, you're last. Since I was competing in multiplication races in the 3rd grade, my dad has told me that second place is only the first loser. We all laugh when we talk about competition in this light, but it's likely that we have thought about the underlying meaning of these statements more than we want to admit. Some competitions are more concealed than a multiplication race or a speech contest. Social media is one of the most brutal yet eloquently disguised battlegrounds for competition. Is posting to social media bad? Of course not. But why do we really post? Why do we smile for the camera, take 50 pictures before grabbing the perfect one, and then proceed to use Facetune for flawless skin, unusually white teeth, and a slimmer waist? I'm guilty of following this process, and it wasn't until recently that I recognized why. Like many others, I'm in constant competition for the most likes, followers, and hype on social media. I fear not being the best as myself. It is hard to admit that I've spent a great chunk of my time in this blue jacket acting as someone else to compete with others. I used to put on my FFA face for interviews and interactions with fellow members, allowing my physical appearance to carry more weight than my ability. Even my hair was pretending to be something it wasn't. For the first 4 years of my FFA career, I watched as girls with perfectly straightened hair found success in the blue jacket. I followed suit. Of course, appearance is valuable in a professional setting, but I could not wrap my head around the idea that my natural hair was enough. It's safe to say that my mindset has since shifted. For the first time with confidence, I wore my hair with this crazy wave the week I was elected to serve our association. Straight hair is in fact not required for a first place finish. I didn't have to wake up hours earlier than normal to straighten my hair so that I could be better than others. My hair didn't make me any more or less competitive. My hair didn't make me any more or less successful. I didn't have to let my fear overcome my happiness. The competition for approval based on our physical appearance is only a small piece of how competition can impact an FFA member. In reality, the foundation of this organization is rooted in competing with one another. From impromptu speeches to proficiencies, having nerves before a competition is based in our fear of failure. We get nervous standing outside of the speech room because there is a chance that we won't reach our personal standards. We could forget the words to our speech, stutter, or speak just a little too quickly. If we were not afraid of failing, we could go into the competition room without worry. Failure would not be a concern. Competition has a way of bringing failure to the forefront of our minds. Competition itself is not bad. Being competitive is not something to be ashamed of. Competition has a way of pulling us out of our comfort zones and keeping us from settling for less than we are capable of. Competition can introduce us to our closest friends and yield our most impressive successes. Competition can motivate us into action where action is needed most. For me, competition acted as a catalyst for change when I was a Montgomery County High School tennis player. I am not athletic, so for years I ran as far as I could from joining a sports team. When it came time to start thinking about college, however, my mom was persistent about being on a sports team, making a positive impact on a resume for scholarships. For the sake of my future, I joined the team. I was far from a star, but I hated more than anything to lose a match. I would come home after practice and run a few extra miles, jump rope until I couldn't anymore, and I even had my dad set up a net in the garage where we would hit back and forth for hours. Even though I never became a star, I won more often and I saw growth in my contributions to the team. Competitiveness forced me to improve. The same can be true for FFA members. My opportunity to travel to Adair County for their Green Hand Degree ceremony is the perfect example. For hours after the ceremony, Rebecca and Ty, 2 chapter officers, sat in the parking lot of the Adair County Extension Office and talked to me about FFA, life, and everything in between. Then they told me about their joint SAE and tool for advocating. Rebecca and Ty are the founders of the Healthy Farmer Project. In August of 2019, they made their first Instagram post detailing their mission. Advocate for farmer health because a healthy farmer equals a healthy world. Since then, they have started a blog, accumulated followers, and used their platform to uplift others. Competition brought influential advocacy out of Ty and Rebecca. Instead of buckling under the fear of failure, they allowed the idea of winning a proficiency and having an exceptional SAE to drive them to make a positive impact. Often, when given the chance to find success, we search for personal validation. The search for validation can keep us from opportunities for friendship and happiness through competition. My focus on a picture-perfect appearance and resume often kept me from truly enjoying the moments I was in. I would spend more time reapplying lipstick than building connections. I dodged group projects because then the success wasn't wholly my own. Rebecca and Ty, on the other hand, prove that competition can be beneficial. Although it can force us to acknowledge our fear of failure, competition has a way of preventing us from settling for complacency. Competition can push us into the path of success. The question is, where is the line that separates detrimental and healthy competition? Competition has 2 faces. One gives us overwhelming fear. The other provides opportunity. The only difference is selfishness. Usually, selflessness is one of the most prized character traits. After all, giving back to others is one of the most valuable qualities of a leader. Today is different. To find opportunity in competition, we must compete wholly for ourselves. One moment from this year shows the true benefit of competing selfishly. I can proudly say that I've attended more lock-ins than any other event over my year of service. At the Madison Southern High School FFA lock-in, we spent some quality time playing Capture the Flag, packing meals for their service project, Meals for Madison, and my favorite item of business, painting signs for FFA week. Painting these signs was right up my alley. My group painted posters with bumblebees and oak trees until we ran out of paper and time. As most of the members headed out of the shop, I noticed that someone wasn't following the group. Joseph, a sophomore at Madison Southern, stayed behind to clean up. We casually talked back and forth as we washed paintbrushes. I asked him about his FFA experience. How did you get involved? Do you enjoy FFA? Were you looking forward to the lock-in? He replied with, some of my friends are in FFA. I guess it's fun, and I hadn't planned on coming. I was taken aback. Why would someone not want to attend a lock-in? I asked, why didn't you want to come? He calmly said, I don't look like an FFA member. I wanted so badly to tell him that he was wrong and that he belongs, and that FFA can be the same home for him as it has been for so many others. Instead of imposing my radical love for this organization, I asked him how he was feeling since he decided to be in attendance. He expressed that he was worried at first, but he was having a great time. That night, I watched as Joseph changed from being quiet in the crowd to cutting up with me, Haley, and the rest of his chapter. Joseph took on his fear of failure by attending the lock-in. He put himself in the middle of the never-ending competition to fit in. Joseph decided that if he could have a good time and become a better leader from this experience, he could find personal benefit. He didn't attend the lock-in because it would make someone else fit in less or because he knew he could make sure someone else loses and capture the flag. His motivation was selfish, but it was valuable to healthy competition. Each time we walk into a competitive situation, our intentions should be completely focused on ourselves. We should compete selfishly so that we seek personal improvement instead of seeking detriment to others. We should not crave a first-place finish. We should crave having the most positive change. Especially in FFA, competing for ourselves can yield more positive change than imaginable. We can become exemplary public speakers, learn skills that make us valuable teammates, and create study habits that will prove beneficial for years to come. That being said, our focus must be on self-improvement if we hope to see personal change. For so many years, I needed to win to beat others. I needed to be the best for the title, the attention, and my resume. I didn't want to become a better public speaker or tennis player or have a profound impact on social media for myself. I only wanted the reward of seeing others crumble under the weight of my competitiveness. I needed so badly to be the best because I was so uncontrollably afraid of failure. I needed my friends, family, coaches, advisors, and peers to see me as a winner, as successful. The only way I saw to gain the validation I craved was to win over others, never winning for myself. I had originally shared my third grade experience with the multiplication race as a segue into my one external fear. Looking back, third grade me wanted way more than a trip to the library. I wanted more than anything to be the best. This carried into each of my experiences through grade school. I was ruthless on the fifth grade academic team, and I couldn't stomach a B through middle or high school. My shortcomings, however, became most evident when I joined FFA as a freshman at Montgomery County High School. This organization brought out the most competitive pieces of my personality. Winning was the only option. Winning for titles, awards, and my reputation, but never for myself. I bawled outside of competition rooms. I wondered if I would ever be good enough to hear my name called as a state winner. I hung my head at the thought of second place. Why? I competed with everyone except myself. I allowed self-improvement to fall into the background. I worried more about a title than the impact I could make. This is not the fault of FFA. It is my personal fear of failure. The good news? I changed my mindset, I found my purpose, and I grew through my fear. A year ago, I was elected to serve the Kentucky FFA Association alongside 11 outstanding individuals. I had so much opportunity before me, but my competitiveness led me to some of the most negative thoughts. I was elected as vice president, meaning that in all reality, I was in second place. I didn't care who was above me, but all I knew is that I had not won. To counter my negative feelings, I told myself that I didn't have to compete anymore. I didn't have to keep pushing, keep improving, because I had already made it as far as I ever would. I would end my FFA career in second place, the last place I wanted to be. These thoughts echoed in my mind immediately after I was elected, but some of the first training our team went through started to shift my mindset. In the conference room of a hotel in Bowling Green, a past state officer had each member of our team write down one word about how we wanted to serve on a small piece of cardstock. This word would be a constant reminder of how we would show up to each FFA event. On the front of my card, I wrote that I would show up genuinely. On the back of my card, I wrote some lyrics from the Casey Musgraves song, Pageant Material. It said, "I would rather lose for what I am than win for what I ain't." I tied my card onto my backpack. I wasn't immediately changed by that little card, but I saw it every day. I had a reminder that as long as I was wholly myself, putting in as much effort as possible, then I was truly winning. If I could grow from every experience, I would be winning for me. I would be successful. I could take pride in knowing that I gave it my all and was completely myself. In the end, I learned more about myself, experienced more growth, and came out stronger as a result of what I originally considered a failure. I now hold my head high, knowing that I used the past year to become a better individual, FFA member, and teammate, capable of contributing more to the lives of others. When I won the 3rd grade sevens race, I thought I had reached the top. When I competed in the creed contest with my straightened hair and perfectly applied lipstick, I thought I could conquer the world, and that the world had ended when I didn't win the state contest. When I was elected as the state vice president, I thought that I had failed because I wasn't number one. In all 3 situations, I thought improvement was unimportant compared to winning. I was dead wrong. This crazy world that we live in gives us a new list of challenges every single day. This crazy organization that we are a part of encourages us to take on those challenges with full force. It feels good to have your name called for first place, and winning is often the result of hard work and personal growth. But I've found that the most growth comes out of competing against yourself. Don't worry about the trophy or being number one. Put your time and energy into being better than you were yesterday, last year, or the last time you competed. The real measure of your success comes after the results are announced. When you win, be gracious and thankful for your outcome. If you lose, pull yourself together and congratulate the winner. Regardless of the outcome, win, lose, or draw, push forward to the next challenge. Take time to reflect on how you grew through the process. Remember that the results are not the final destination. They are a step on a much longer journey. When you focus on getting better, you win regardless of the results that are announced, because winning and losing do not define you. Compete anytime you get the chance, not for a trophy or a plaque, but to better yourself. Learning about yourself makes you a winner. Giving it your best shot makes you a winner. Facing fear makes you a winner. Becoming a better person makes you a winner. Kentucky FFA, prove yourself to yourself, and you are a winner.
Thank you, Amber, for those powerful words and challenging us with your call to action. You have certainly been a leader on our team and a good friend as well.
Numerous things make Kentucky FFA amazing, and the Kentucky FFA Foundation serves an essential part in making our association so successful. Led by an executive director and board of trustees, it is the goal of the foundation to secure the resources that allow Kentucky FFA to deliver high-quality experiences for all members. In 2019, the Kentucky FFA Foundation had another big year. They raised $1,031,151. That's 2 years in a row where over $1 million have been contributed to advancing agriculture education and FFA.
Every person on our state officer team has been impacted by the generosity of the sponsors that give to the Kentucky FFA Foundation. And thousands of members are given opportunities to learn and grow each year because of the work of the Kentucky FFA Foundation. For example, every FFA member that wins a regional contest will receive prize money. State winners will also receive additional money, plus a plaque or banner to commemorate the accomplishment. Scholarship money is awarded each year to help members attend the Washington Leadership Conference and the Kentucky FFA Leadership Training Center. Grants are awarded to members to help them expand their supervised agricultural experience programs. And the annual state convention would not be possible without our sponsors. This helps us keep the cost to our members and chapters low, which encourages increased participation.
Specifically, we want to thank those sponsors that are making the 91st Kentucky FFA Virtual Convention possible. In these unsure times, it is nice to be able to rely on the support of our friends. To everyone who contributes to the Kentucky FFA Foundation, be it $5 or $50,000, thank you for believing in the future of agriculture. And if you want to learn more about how you can support the FFA, go to kentuckyffa.org/Kentucky FFA Foundation. We're going to take a short break to see if we are social media celebrities yet. In the meantime, here's a word from one of our sponsors bringing the 91st Kentucky FFA Virtual Convention to you, Kentucky Farm Bureau.
For generations, this land has been their home. They've risen with the sun and worked, sometimes literally, until the cows came home. It's more than their livelihoods. It's their lives. And we're proud to be more than Kentucky's Farm Bureau. We're proud to be the Clear Creek Home Place Farm Bureau.
Our Farm Bureau.
Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, big on commitment. They say it costs around $240,000 to raise a child. And that's without braces, without private school, without a car when she turns 16. And what if it's without you? Talk to a Kentucky Farm Bureau insurance agent today about life insurance that helps protect your families tomorrow. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, big on commitment.
One thing I've learned from TikTok is that there are key ways to help boost your following. One of those is using the duets feature. Duets is when someone records a video and posts it on TikTok. Then another person uses that video to make another video where it appears the two videos are interacting with each other.
If you can get the right people to duet your video, then you can be headed to influencer status in no time. 1 year ago, our team embarked on a journey that truly changed our lives. At that moment, we thought we were about to influence thousands of members over the year. But little did we know, we would instead be influenced by thousands of members. This year has been full of amazing moments, and although I can't highlight them all tonight, we have a couple people who can help us out. State Secretary Pam Miller and State Treasurer Ashlyn Gibson are here to highlight some of the amazing moments of the year with the annual State Officer Report.
As I reflect on our year of service, I've discovered the one thing that all officer teams have in common.
What could that be?
Inside jokes.
Now that you mention it, I think you're right. No matter what team I've been a part of, there has always been some funny thing that only the team really gets and ties us all together. This team especially has shared a year of laughter.
Definitely. Logan's extensive passion for everything turf and grass, Haley's ability to mimic Shakira's voice in our beloved song, Hips Don't Lie, the team's overall intense addiction to White Castle, well, there's just too many to count.
That's true, but you know the most notorious joke for our team.
How could I forget?
Pop
versus Coke.
Somehow, this debate seems to come up every time our team is together. Although it may have started out as a war between the Eastern officers and the Western officers over which is the correct term for a carbonated beverage, now it's an ongoing joke for our team. However, at the core of this funny feud is really just 12 individuals with a passion for the piece of Kentucky that they call their own and the characteristics that make it home.
No matter Pop or Coke, East or West, our team was brought together 1 year ago to serve you, the members. We happened to be in the same place at the same time, and it was in that moment we each gained a new team, family, and sense of belonging.
As a team, we set out to make meaningful goals for ourselves as well as each of you this year. Throughout various conferences, social media campaigns, and visits, we have challenged you to promote members pursuing a career and technical education pathway, practice servant leadership, and inspire agriculture literacy within your communities.
And Kentucky FFA did not disappoint. Within career and technical education, one thing that many of us are fairly familiar with is the end of program assessment. By passing an EOP test within a given agricultural career pathway, this certifies that you would be knowledgeable and prepared to pursue a career in that industry. Mrs. Erin Butler, an advisor of the Grant County FFA chapter, has gone above and beyond to recognize her career-ready students by creating a wall of fame for those that have passed the end-of-program assessment. This not only encourages her students to become industry certified, but also recognizes the dedication they have put into achieving this accomplishment. Down in Mayfield, Kentucky, Clayton Story found his passion for career and technical education through the support of his FFA chapter. As a senior, Clayton was accepted into the Hudson Intern Program, where he learned how to troubleshoot, service, repair, and rebuild the Hudson equipment that keeps agriculturalists running strong. Recently retiring his jackets as the Graves County FFA chapter president and Purchase Region Sentinel, he is continuing this journey to eventually become certified to work on tractors, sprayers, combines, and various equipment as a John Deere technician in his community. Growing up on his family farm, Clayton knew that through career and technical education, he could pursue a career that will give farmers the tools necessary to feed the world. CTE careers are vital to the agriculture industry and often go underappreciated. It is examples like Mrs. Butler and Clayton that lead us all to recognize the value of career and technical education.
Shania Blake is a senior FFA member at Lewis County High School. She recognized the struggle that many of the members in her chapter had financially to afford to go to National Convention, so she organized a fundraiser dinner. Through her efforts to develop and promote this event, there were over 160 guests in attendance, and the chapter raised over $5,000. This was enough money to send 16 students to National Convention and provide each of them with $100 to spend on meals while they were there. Shania's selfless leadership and service in this event paved the way for her fellow members to experience the wide array of opportunities given to members at National Convention. The Scott County FFA chapter worked together as servant leaders to combat food insecurity that hit close to home. Around Thanksgiving, their chapter promoted a school-wide canned food drive, and the efforts the students put forth showed an incredible spirit of giving. In total, the school collected 7,800 cans of food to donate to the Amen House in Georgetown, Kentucky. To celebrate this accomplishment, the entire student body of Scott County High School came together in a school assembly with all of the cans of food displayed on the gym floor. FFA members, as well as people of the community, spoke about how they are thankful for the ability to give back to those who are less fortunate during the holiday season. Not only did Scott County FFA display servant leadership in their chapter, but they also spread that mentality to their entire school. Living to serve is one of the core values within our organization, and Shania and Scott County FFA both embraced that this year. They exhibited acts of servant leadership our team looked for and lived to serve those around them. Kentucky FFA is full of servant leaders, and it is these individuals that truly make a difference in the lives of others.
Finally, we recognized a lack of agricultural literacy in our communities, in the state, and across the nation. In return, a wave of you answered our call to advocate for this industry and this issue. From events you have held to enlighten your areas of the joys and discomforts of agricultural life, such as Harrison County's Ag Literacy Day, McCracken County's Fall on the Farm, and Owsley County's Farm Safety Day, to the social media accounts that you have created and initiatives that you have taken part in, like #AdvocateForAg, the Healthy Farmer Project, and our Turkey Takeover Instagram campaign at Thanksgiving. Even the Beyond Ag podcast created to shed light on issues in the agriculture industry. The countless efforts that you've made to educate those around you has not gone unnoticed. The actions we've seen from each of you this year were nothing short of electrifying. Our team has felt the spark of dedication within many of you for agriculture, FFA, and serving others.
Going into our year of service, things like getting pushed into the pool at FFA camp and giving speeches at green hand ceremonies were to be expected. However, there were a plethora of things coming that we had no idea would impact our lives so much. One thing we certainly did not see coming was the situation surrounding the coronavirus. Even though we were not able to physically be present during the COVID-19 pandemic, Kentucky FFA members defied all odds. Nicholas County FFA sparked the hashtag Pass the Jacket video trend to promote unity even during a pandemic that kept us all apart. When she realized she did not have her gavel at home, Abigail Mattingly from the Washington County FFA chapter turned to creative thinking to find and use a wooden meat tenderizer instead in a virtual meeting with her regional officer team. Many other members across the Commonwealth gave speeches in their pajamas to a video camera, interviewed for chapter office via Zoom, and encouraged others through strong words of positivity on social media. Throughout this time full of uncertainty, Kentucky FFA has shown those around us that we are a group of young leaders who persevere under any circumstance and use innovative thinking to continue fulfilling our goals.
As a team, we have soaked up every opportunity to achieve the goals and purpose we set forth when our year began. None of these goals would have been achieved without you. We, as a state officer team, have treasured every moment with you in our year of service, and thank you for the inspiring work we have been able to see you put in.
Here's to one last inside joke debate. It's pop.
It's Coke, and here's to you, Kentucky FFA, for a year full of hard work and achieving our goals.
Thanks to Pam and Ashlyn for doing a great job of sharing our team's goals and how we witnessed them achieved in our members and chapters. Before we start announcing the winners of some of our state contests, we want to give you the chance to be a winner.
You can win one of these exclusive Kentucky FFA virtual convention t-shirts right now by texting KYFFA to the number on your screen. We will randomly select the winners from the responses we received during the session.
So get your phone out and text KYFFA to the number on your screen, and maybe we will be sending you one of these shirts in the mail. Good luck!
There is always a new worldwide trend hitting the internet on a daily basis. It seems like every day there's a new viral video out there. What was just a funny video shared among friends yesterday can become the new trend for millions of people today. Whether it was last summer when everyone everywhere was doing the get up, or a few years ago when Mason Ramsey made his yodeling debut in a Walmart in Harrisburg, Illinois, or today when people are constantly learning new dances on TikTok.
Viral would be a good way to describe the growth we have seen in agricultural education in middle schools. Over the past few years, the number of programs offered at the middle school has shot way up, and there continues to be more interest in making Ag Ed and FFA part of the opportunities for students in grades 6 through 8.
As these programs have grown, so have the competitive opportunities available. Middle school students now can compete in events like prepared public speaking, essay contests, and new this year, the discussion meet. And no doubt that more events will be added as middle school ag programs continue to go viral. It is now time to announce the results of the middle school competitive events that were held last week. All middle school FFA events are sponsored by the Hatton Foundation and the Kentucky FFA Foundation.
To view a full list of participants in all of our competitive events, go to kyffa.org/state convention. Now, here to announce the winners is State President Haley Nelson.
Here are the results for the middle school prepared public speaking event. In third place is Molly Webb, Barron County Middle. Second place is Mahmoud Ataya, Bondurant Middle. And the winner of the middle school prepared public speaking event is Nadia Walker, Nicholas County. In the middle school extemporaneous public speaking event, third place goes to Elizabeth Ballman, Breckinridge County. Second place is Casey Joe Orzen, Nicholas County. And the winner of the middle school extemporaneous public speaking event is Presley Fell, Bondurant Middle. In the middle school essay contest, third place goes to Madeline Perkins, Williamstown. Second place is Aspen Reynolds, Bondurant Middle. And finishing in first place is Abigail Smith, Royal Spring Middle School. Third place in the quiz contest goes to Bondurant Middle.
Second place is Jessamine County, and the winner is Adair County Middle. Now for the middle school discussion meet event. Third place is Barron County Middle, second place is Harrison County Middle, and first place in the discussion meet is Bondurant Middle School. The third place chapter in the opening and closing ceremonies event is Bondurant Middle. Second place goes to Jessamine County, and first place is Nicholas County.
Congratulations to all the middle school members taking part in these events. We look forward to seeing how you continue to grow in your FFA career.
Before we jump into our next set of awards, let's take a break and hear from another one of our sponsors making this virtual state convention possible, Ram Trucks.
We've all got some miles to make up. Miles to the job site, the campsite, and anything else we set our sights on. Miles that take us back to the places we want to go and to the people who count on us. So let's roll up our sleeves because we've got miles to make up.
You know that moment when you're scrolling on TikTok and find a dance you want to learn, and before you know it, you have spent hours practicing it, especially over these last few months. I'll admit, at times I've spent entirely too much time on TikTok and practicing these dances, but practice does make perfect.
Just like Clay spent a lot of time practicing TikTok dances, I've spent a lot of time binge watching Netflix. Tiger King, Outer Banks, and All American, just to name a few. But we know some individuals that have spent way more time than us obsessing about things a little more important. They have competed virtually, practiced in the four walls of their home, and received tips from their advisors over the phone rather than in person. These members have worked incredibly hard to get to this moment, and finally, that moment is here. And now, as we announce the results of the leadership development events.
Prize money to participants and winners are provided by the event sponsors. Additionally, state winners and individual events will receive a plaque. State winning teams will receive a blue corduroy banner, and these all will be mailed to chapters next week. Remember to see a list of all participants, go to kyffa.org/state convention.
While Clay works on his dance moves and I catch up on Selling Sunset, we will toss it over to State President Haley Nelson and State Vice President Amber Donson to announce the winners.
Creed Speaking is sponsored by Dr. Luther and Brenda Hughes. Finishing fourth is Macy Daughtery, Marshall County. Third place goes to Elissel Spiegel, Locust Trace. Second place is Sarah Sink, Trigg County. And the first place winner is Michaela Wilson, Woodford County.
Prepared Public Speaking is sponsored by Kentucky Propane Gas Association and Murray State University Collegiate FFA. Finishing fourth is Mallory White, Union County. Third place goes to Riley Warner, Montgomery County. Second place is Kennedy Little, Locust Trace. And the first place winner is Braden Price, South Warren.
Extemporaneous Public Speaking is sponsored by Kentucky Farm Bureau. Fourth place is Bethany Schock, Barron County. Third place goes to Karis Littlepage, Madisonville North. Second place is Amelia Tucker, Apollo. And the first place winner is Olivia Moore, Western Hills.
Agriculture Mechanics Impromptu is sponsored by Hudson Incorporated. Third place goes to Isaiah Sparks, West Carter. Second place is Penelope Barnett, Nicholas County. And the first place winner is Annalise Roth, South Warren.
Beef Impromptu is sponsored by Robert L. Conley Livestock and the Kentucky Livestock Marketing Association. Third place goes to Dylan Short, Barron County. Second place is Trenton Tucker, Central Hardin. And the first place winner is Casey Montgomery, Spencer County.
Crop Impromptu is sponsored by Kentucky, DeKalb, and Asgrow. Third place goes to Avery Goodwin, McCracken County. Second place is Molly Crawford, Boyle County. And the first place winner is Roger David, Western Hills.
Dairy Impromptu is sponsored by Jim and Betty Claycomb and the Kentucky Dairy Development Council. Third place goes to Josh Kugel, Apollo. Second place is Kelly Barrett, Spencer County. And the first place winner is Bree Russell, Barron County.
Fruit and Vegetable Impromptu is sponsored by Denny, Daryl, and Chuck Coffee in memory of Dr. David Coffee. Third place goes to Annabelle Wilmarth, Callaway County. Second place is Bryn Cooper, Spencer County. And the first place winner is Hannah Smith, Marshall County.
Goat and Sheep Impromptu is sponsored by Kentucky Goat Producers and Jim and Janie Caldwell. Third place goes to Lane Hall, Breathitt County. Second place is Bethany Fields, Western Hills. And the first place winner is Madison Goodlett, Spencer County.
Greenhouse Impromptu is sponsored by Western Kentucky University Department of Agriculture. Third place goes to Gracie Bashir, Whitley County. Second place is Josie Kurtz, Spencer County. And the first place winner is Lakin Moffitt, Graves County.
Floral Impromptu is sponsored by Scott County FFA alumni and Smith FPC Farms. Third place goes to Morgan Jones, Russell County. Second place is Emily Mattingly, Montgomery County. And the first place winner is Field and Buchanan, Nicholas County.
Horse Impromptu is sponsored by Damon Talley and Jim David Meats. Third place goes to Anna Hash, Montgomery County. Second place is Morgan Vincent, Edmondson County. And the first place winner is Casey O'Connell, Scott County.
Nursery and Landscape Impromptu is sponsored by UK Ag and HES Alumni Association. Third place goes to Carter Gibson, Carlisle County. Second place is Hannah Davis, Madison Southern. And the first place winner is Lindsay Phelps, Lincoln County.
Poultry Impromptu is sponsored by Kentucky Poultry Federation. Third place goes to Kaylee Gilpin, Boyle County. Second place is Jack Baird, Spencer County. And the first place winner is Eli Cornmiller, Central Hardin.
Small Animal Impromptu is sponsored by Warren County Farm Bureau. Third place goes to Brooklyn Carroll, Russell County. Second place is Jenny Lyle, Western Hills. And the first place winner is Grant Meredith, Edmondson County.
Swine Impromptu is sponsored by Broadbent's B&B Foods and Sanford & Sons Sales and Service. Third place goes to Jared Cornett, North Laurel. Second place is Landon Muse, Apollo. And the first place winner is Logan Kirby, Madison Southern.
Turf and Lawn Impromptu is sponsored by Kentucky State Horticulture Society. Third place goes to Keely Bowles, Nicholas County. Second place is Aaron Cook, Lincoln County. And the first place winner is Joshua Roberts, Locust Trace.
The Agriculture Issues Forum is sponsored by Mr. John Culver. The winner of the Ag Issues LDE is Harrison County.
Employment Skills LDE is sponsored by Dr. Charles Byers. Third place goes to Sydney Pepper, LaRue County. Second place is Megan Johnston, Boyle County. And the first place winner is Madison Goodlett, Spencer County.
Just like Snapchat, I don't want to ruin a winning streak. So let's keep the results coming with our career development events.
CDEs focus on technical skills needed in the agriculture industry. These skills range from selling a product to understanding how to properly maintain records. But unlike Snapchat, the work put in these doesn't disappear after you compete. There are lifelong attributes that will help these members when they enter the workforce.
Some of these events are limited to individuals, while others require a team effort. With the situations we have faced over the last few months, these events may have been more challenging than before. But that hard work has finally paid off, and we are so excited to celebrate these accomplishments with our members.
Let's go back to Haley and Amber to get the results of our career development events.
Agricultural Communication CDE is sponsored by Agrichem and Mike Bach, B&E Farms. The winning team for the Ag Communication CDE is LaRue County.
Agriculture Sales CDE is sponsored by Stith Brothers and Ryan Brothers. Third place goes to Barron County. Second place is Marshall County. And the first place team is Spencer County. The high individual in the Ag Sales CDE is Jalen Cox from Taylor County.
The American Institute of Cooperatives event is sponsored by S&B Cattle Company and Glass Fencing, LLC. Third place goes to Trenton Tucker, Central Hardin. Second place is Kendall Clark, Grant County. And the first place winner is Anna McOrder, South Laurel.
Farm Business Management CDE is sponsored by Larry Butler's Sunrise Acres. Third place goes to Grayson County. Second place is Taylor County. And in first place is Spencer County. The high individual in Farm Business Management is Jackson Baird from Spencer County.
The Food Science CDE is sponsored by Fresh Sausage Specialist. Second place is Franklin County. And the first place team is LaRue County. The high individual in this event is Anastasia Newby from LaRue County.
The KDA Direct Farm Marketing Contest is sponsored by Kentucky Department of Agriculture. Second place is Riley Warner, Montgomery County. And the first place winner is Taylor Whitley, Elliott County.
The Marketing Plan CDE is sponsored by Hobdy, Dye, and Reed Incorporated. Second place is Taylor County. And the first place winner is Spencer County.
Milk Quality and Product CDE is sponsored by Paradise Tomato Kitchen. Third place goes to Williamstown Independent. Second place is Great Crossings. And the first place winner is LaRue County. The high individual in Milk Quality and Products is Jose Villaneos, LaRue County.
The record-keeping contest is sponsored by UK Agricultural Education Society and Taylor Cattle Farm. Third place goes to Spencer County. Second place is Adair County, and the first place winner is Barron County. The high individual in the record-keeping contest is Madeline Perkins, Williamstown.
The Talent Contest is sponsored by DNR Livestock. Third place goes to Olivia Moore and Gianna Manglamont, Western Hills. Second place is Alex Miller, Garrett County. And the first place winner is Sam Smith from Montgomery County.
The Horse Judging and Veterinary Science CDEs were held in November at Murray State University. We want to take a moment to recognize those winning teams that will represent Kentucky at the National FFA Convention in October. For the State Horse Judging CDE, the winning chapter was Caldwell County. Team members were Destiny Mitchell, Katie Trimble, Lily Kirk, and Skylar Newton. Anna Turlington of Central Hardin was the high individual in this event. The Veterinary Science CDE is sponsored by CPC Commodities. The winning chapter was Locust Trace FFA. Team members are Ava Simmons, Avery Mars, Anna Saunders, and Lily Crouch. Anna Saunders was also the high individual in the Veterinary Science CDE.
As we wrap up this second session of the 91st Kentucky FFA Convention, Faith and I would like to congratulate each and every one of our members for their amazing achievements announced tonight. While this year's convention looks considerably different, Kentucky FFA is still ecstatic to celebrate each member for their dedication.
While this convention puts a whole new wrap on here and now, we hope that you see after tonight the importance of living in the moment and not taking anything for granted. Although we aren't sitting in the middle of Rupp Arena surrounded by blue jackets, we are surrounded by supporters and friends, all of whom make up Kentucky FFA.
And just like at every state convention, the fun doesn't end with this session. Tune in right after this session to attend the first ever Kentucky FFA virtual convention concert performed live by Tyler Booth and sponsored by RAM. We're ecstatic to see what he has in store. Hannah will be on right after we adjourn and tell you how you can join the concert.
And join us tomorrow night as Megan and Hannah host the third and final session of the 91st Kentucky FFA State Convention. Kentucky FFA, remember that no matter your current location, you are here, and life is best lived in the here and now.
Madam Secretary, do you have a record of any further business which should now be transacted?
I have none, Madam President.
We are about to adjourn this session of the 91st Kentucky FFA State Convention. As we mingle with others, let us be diligent in labor, just in our dealings, courteous to everyone, and above all, honest and fair in the game of life. Fellow members and guests, join me in a salute to our flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I now declare this session adjourned.
The Tyler Booth concert starts soon. The concert is being hosted as a Facebook Live event on Kentucky FFA's Facebook page. Head that way after you watch this message from the sponsor of tonight's concert, Ram Trucks.
Family farms, I just couldn't imagine America without them.
It's always been in our blood, you know, to be a farmer. We lived in the country, and we always had a family cow.
Oh, it's definitely in my blood. This is all I've ever done since I was big enough to ride in the tractor with my dad and grandpa.
It's not easy farming, and it's never been easy. There's always obstacles.
We plant something and we hope and expect that it's going to be a good harvest. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't, but we keep working on it.
Work till the day's done and go back and start over. My grandpa and dad both built a legacy, and I won't let it die with me. We don't go backwards. We're always moving forward.